JEM is my name, no one else is the same. JEM is my name. JEM.
This is my second attempt at recording this episode. The first one, I happily yammered on and on and on and on for over 17 minutes. So let me do it again and see if I can be a little bit more succinct with it. This is the first episode not written by Christy Marks. It's written by somebody else. And she did a nice job. So I think this show is in good hands. Don't recognize the name, but I IMDb'd her, and she has credits in Transformers and G.I. Joe, so hey, well done. You know, one of the things I like about JEM and the Holograms? The main characters are adults. Now, I like anime, but I have for decades now been utterly sick of stories about school kids. I so don't care about school kids. I don't even like kids. At all. But JEM and the Holograms, they're adults. I don't know how old they're supposed to be, but none of them are in college, so they're probably, mid-20s at the youngest. Maybe 23, 24 at the youngest. And that wasn't completely uncommon back in the 80s. You had shows like The Real Ghostbusters, which starred the Ghostbusters, which were men in their 30s. You had G.I. Joe, which were, military peoples. They're all adults. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and She-Ra and that entire cast, they're all adults. So it wasn't completely unheard of to have shows with characters that were adults. And I've never understood we've got to do a property and we've got to have little kids in it because then little kids will watch it. No, because kids don't like kids. Kids like adults. Kids want to be adults. Kids don't even want to play with their own toys. They want to play with their older siblings' toys. They want to listen to their older siblings' music. They want to be their older sibling. Why? Because the older sibling's cool? No, because they're older. Kids want to be adults. And adults want to be kids, so I can nap whenever I want. And have no responsibilities. I used to have so much more time for cartoons. So JEM and the Holograms, in this episode there is a hunger charity shindig happening at the Houston Astrodome, and JEM and the Holograms are invited to perform to help raise money to solve world hunger. And one of the songs, which one is it? I'm looking at a list on my TV. It's We Can Make a Difference, which is we can make a difference, by not being selfish and sharing the stuff we have. And I don't know if the singer for JEM was having an off day, but didn't quite hit those high notes there, kiddo. And I don't mean that to be condescending at all, because there's 3 songs in every single episode. I've heard you hit high notes. Hey, some days you just don't have it. Sounds like it's in your range, but not quite there. And again, to be fair, those were super high notes. That was like F sharp G up in the 5th octave. 5th? Middle C is 4, so 5th octave. Way up there. I can't sing that high. And also the post at the end was a little shaky. Maybe the singer for JEM, like JEM says in this episode, had a bit of a cold or something like that. But that's okay. The rest of the music is great. Especially the Misfits song, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. They've got this really great polyphonic harmony bit going in the chorus section of the song.
Gimme, 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 I want it. Gimme, 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 I need it. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Oh, it's so cool. Love it, love it, love it. Of course, the Misfits also show up for the charity Shindig, and Eric, bad guy, is like, "Hey, it's the Misfits. They should be on the live album too." And the woman organizing the event is, "No, they can't be on the live album. There's no more room, unless one of the other bands drops out." Probably shouldn't have said that. But you're welcome to help raise money and sing on the show. Oh, by the way, the Misfits are going to have to stay with you in the guest house because there's no other room. And Eric goes, he has this cry of pain and anguish.
They can stay with you in the guest house.
Not even Eric can stand the Misfits. And JEM and the Holograms are talking to the organizer lady. They're like, don't know how to say this politely, but Eric is a bad guy. And she's like, "Oh, he's a snake. He's a little weasel. I know that. Trust me, I got this handled." It's like, all right. So, there's a new character introduced, some international pretty boy dude who, I don't remember what he does. I don't know if he's just a model or something like that, but Kimber takes a liking to him because he's handsome. And that's shallow, but it's understandable. And he's got a sexy accent. Handsome and sexy accent. Killer combo. So, they're hanging out at this woman's ranch for a couple days prior to the main event. And Eric sends Zipper, his goon, who burnt down their original house, put a bomb in the mansion, tried to murder them by dropping a stone gargoyle on their head. He's now dyed his hair black, by the way. He orders him to just flat out kill the Holograms. He doesn't say that, but he says, take him out before the concert. And he and another goon find the Holograms who are playing at a swimming hole, a pond or something like that, and point a gun at them and a stick. One goon has a gun, has like a rifle or a shotgun or something. Zipper has like a small log. I don't know if that's an animation mistake or if I have a log and I'll use it. And they had another thing to do at the Astrodome, so I don't think this was a kidnap them and hold them in place so they can't perform. This seemed like a whole drag them out into the woods and murder them. Thanks to Synergy's hologram shenanigans, they escape. But, again, we're trying to murder the Holograms here. So, the Misfits... so we've got some sexual tension between Kimber and her new would-be boyfriend and Jarek and Rio. Rio is the road manager, and he's busy setting stuff up. And Jerica's like, "I thought you were going to spend time with... I wanted to spend time with you today." He's like, "I got to set the thing up at the Astrodome, but I'll call you tonight at 10. Well, they're going on a hay ride tonight. And Kimber's would-be boyfriend's like, "Hey, want to go on the hay ride?" And let's go on the hay ride. He doesn't show up because the Misfits, Pizzazz specifically, knows him from somewhere. It's like, "Hey, Mark, Larry... Theodore, whatever his name is, come out. Kimber wants to meet you out here at this bar." And he goes, "Oh, really? Okay." And so he doesn't end up making the hayride. Kimber's a little upset about that. And then he's like, "You tricked me. Kimber's not here at this bar. Take me home this minute. Harumph." And so they drive him home, and they nearly drive right into the hay cart that the Holograms are riding on because Pizzazz is a terrible driver because she's not watching the road. She's busy calling him a weenie. But Kimber sees him and is like, "He stood me up to hang out with the Misfits. Harumph." And of course, because Pizzazz nearly runs the hay cart off the road, it breaks an axle. They're late getting back. Jerica misses her phone call from Rio, and she misses the phone call from Rio, so now Rio's a little miffed. So, day of the show, Eric is skimming money off of the ticket sales. The plan, which was part of the plan, the other plan is to have one of the goons dress up as a security guard and escort the Holograms to their dressing room. But instead, he escorts them to, like, a storage closet and locks them in. Kimber sees her would-be boyfriend and is like, no, I don't want to talk to you. And Jem says, you know what? Maybe hear him out, see what he has to say. And she goes, oh, all right. And he says, look, I really wanted to hang out with you last night. Pizzazz lied to me. And she's like, yeah, I could see that happening. Okay, we're good. You see, people, communication is key. This could have been one of those dumb things in, relationship dramas that goes on and on and on, episode after episode. But no, they just talk to each other and they're all good. It's great. So, 3 of the holograms are locked up. Kimber's off by herself. She meets up with Rio, who's kind of bitter because he hasn't seen his girlfriend. And she's like, oh, yeah, we almost got hit by a car last night, so we got home late. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, that explains it. See, communication is key, people. Talk to each other, goddammit. The holograms escape the room by crawling through one of those incredibly human-sized air vents that all the big buildings have so that John McClane can crawl through them. So the holograms are crawling through the vent. Eric hides his skimmed money in the vent, and they're like, oh, hey. They take it and move on. They end up on stage. They perform. They're a little short, but they say, oh, here's the money. And even the misfits are like, oh, dude, Eric, bad guy. You were skimming money off of the ticket sales for charity?
Someone was trying to steal this from Eric's office. It's full of money.
Just in it for the contacts, huh, Eric? What a guy.
That's not cool, Eric, bad guy. That's not cool. But you know what is cool? Their Southern country Texas outfits of both the holograms and the misfits. It's great. The episode is great. I'm great. You're great. Grape nuts are great. Here we go.
Nice going, Synergy.